Hello and welcome. Today we're going to dive into a concept that is, and I mean this, absolutely key to unlocking growth, both in your career and just in life. We're talking about embracing the beginner's mindset. It sounds so simple, right? But stick with me because it might just change the way you see, well, everything. So let's start with a bit of a riddle. I want you to really think about this. When does knowing more actually mean seeing less? It's a strange paradox, isn't it? I mean, we spend our entire lives trying to gain more knowledge, more experience. But what if all that expertise can sometimes act like a pair of blinders, hiding new ideas and possibilities right in front of our eyes? Well, this exact paradox has a name. It's called the expert's trap. And it's that tricky spot we can all get into where our own knowledge becomes a cage. We become so confident in what we know that we just stop asking questions. Our past success kind of locks us into one way of thinking. So how on earth do we get out of it?
Well, the answer is right here. It's this incredibly powerful idea, the beginner's mindset. It's all about having the ability to walk into any situation, even when you think you've mastered, with total openness, with a real sense of curiosity and a genuine desire to learn. It's like hitting the reset button on your assumptions and seeing everything for the first time again.
This quote from Zen master Shinryu Suzuki just nails it, doesn't it? In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the experts, there are few. What's so amazing about that is how it flips our whole idea of expertise on its head. For the beginner, the world is this giant, open landscape of potential. But for the expert, so often they only see the one, well-worn path they've always taken. And this isn't some new age productivity hack. This idea has really deep roots in Zen philosophy. It's a concept called Shoshin, and Shoshin literally translates to beginner's mind. It's all about letting go of our ego, our attachment to being the one who knows, and instead just approaching every single moment with the wide-eyed wonder of a true beginner. So, what does this actually look like day to day? Well, someone with a beginner's mind is naturally curious, they're open, and they're humble. They don't walk into a room assuming they have all the answers. They question things. And, crucially, they're not afraid to be wrong. They see mistakes not as failures, but as amazing opportunities to learn something new. It all comes down to this core belief that growth isn't a destination you arrive at, it's a journey you're always on. And that belief really gets to the heart of how we view ourselves. This ties in perfectly with the famous work of psychologist Carol Dweck on mindset. See, a fixed mindset is the belief that our talents are just set in stone. You're either good at something or you're not. But a growth mindset, which is exactly what the beginner's mind is all about, is the belief that you can develop your abilities through hard work and dedication. It's the huge difference between saying I can't do it and adding that one tiny powerful word, I can't do it yet. And here's the really cool part. This isn't just a nice idea or a philosophy. There is hard science that shows what happens when we adopt this way of thinking. So let's take a look at how this physically changes our brain. Get this, your brain literally loves being a beginner. Every time you learn something new, a process called neuroplasticity kicks in, forging brand new connections between your brain cells. And the best part? Your brain rewards you for it. It releases dopamine, that feel-good chemical, when you explore new things, which makes you want to do it even more. This whole process boosts your creativity, your problem-solving skills. It's actually rewiring your brain for growth. How amazing is that? Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. That's all great. But now for the most important question, the how. How can we actually, build this mindset in our own lives? Well, it really comes down to 3 practical steps. First, you gotta embrace the unknown. Deliberately step out of your comfort zone. Learn an instrument, try a new language, pick up a sport, anything where you are a complete and total novice. Second, foster that curiosity even in things you do all the time. Look at a task at work you've done 100 times and just ask, what if we tried it a totally different way? Challenge that because we've always done it this way thinking. And third, and this one is probably the biggest, reframe how you see failure. A failure isn't the end, it's just data. It's proof that one approach didn't work, which means you're one step closer to finding the one that will. It's about unlearning just as much as it's about learning. And let's be super clear on this. Adopting a beginner's mindset is not about pretending you don't know anything. It's not about throwing your experience out the window. It's a philosophy. It's a choice you make, whether you're a seasoned expert or just starting out, to stay open, to stay curious, and to stay ready to grow, no matter how much you've already achieved.
When you really think about it, what we're talking about here is the key to unlocking your own untapped potential. The beginner's mindset is what opens the door to seeing things differently, to innovating, and to finding possibilities that have been hiding in plain sight all along.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought, and it's really more of a challenge. Don't just let this be an interesting idea you heard. Put it into action. Right now, what is one thing, a conversation you need to have, a project you're working on, maybe even just how you make your coffee? What's one thing you will look at with a beginner's mind today? Give it a try. The answer might just change everything.